Hey, everybody, welcome into the post-game recap for game number 65 for the Mariners, a Mariners victory, 8-1 over the Los Angeles Angels tonight. So happy that just on second post-game recap video, I'm able to talk about a victory for the first time. I was a little nervous that it could take a while, but the Mariners do get a really nice win tonight. Right off the bat, I wasn't able to watch a lot of the game. I had some family matters to attend to, so I watched in bits and pieces. It was on our TV. It just wasn't, being watched the whole time. So I saw bits and pieces. So the breakdown, I'm not going to be able to get too in depth. I don't know, maybe someone went 0 for 4 and they absolutely stung the ball 4 times. I'm not positive on that. But we can look at the box score, look at some results, and celebrate a nice victory for the team and a victory that they needed. And still a chance to get this homestand turned around. They're now 3-5 on the homestand, 3 more at the Angels, 2 tomorrow, 1 on Sunday. So, 3 wins here, and they can potentially finish with a 6-5 homestand coming off that 6-3 road trip. So still a chance to really make some headway in this homestand. A game they needed tonight. I'm not a big must-win guy. I just think that, there's always games you can go back and look at and games in the future and whatnot that you can say, well, there's 15 games there that they could have won. But getting to the point where when you've got a pitching advantage, you need to take advantage and win those games. And they did that tonight. Start off with Robbie Ray, who was as good as he's been all season long. 7+ innings, 1 run, 1 walk, 10 strikeouts. Phenomenal performance. That's now back-to-back dominant starts from Ray. Unfortunately, they couldn't get the one on Sunday, get him the W against Boston. They do. The offense shows up tonight and gets him a well-earned win. So close to the no-hitter. Got it through 6 2/3. Max Stassi hit a little comebacker to Ray that went off his glove. Maybe could have been an error. I think the right call with the hit. I was wanting it to be an error very badly on Twitter, but I think probably the right call in that situation to hit. And then he came back out in the 8th and gave up a triple and a double, so it ended up being kind of a moot point anyways. But and really great of Ray to take the ball in that 8th inning too. A lot of stars, 96 pitches, they're done. Doubleheader tomorrow, so that kind of bulldog mentality that you're looking for out of an ace. Robbie Ray delivered it tonight. I don't know if he mixed in the 2-seamer again. He used it very much to his advantage against Boston and a little bit against Houston the start before that, after he got knocked around a little bit, went to that 2-seamer and delivered some good results. I don't know if he went back to that tonight. I'll have to go back and kind of watch and check and see if we see it in there. I can kind of check the app and see if he threw a lot of them, but I'm not positive if he did. If he did, more good results with it. And that's so important because, Robbie Ray, being a 2-pitch pitcher as a starter is very difficult. He's obviously got tremendous stuff. That fastball, the 4-seamer, and his slider are both plus pitches. But when you only have 2, guys can sit back and guess on those pitches. So if you're sitting up there, you're like, hey, he's got a great fastball. I'm just going to guess fastball. And I think that's why you've seen him give up some home runs more so this year, because guys are guessing. And if they get exactly what they're looking for, professional hitters, major league hitters can make you pay. Now, they're great pitches. They're great stuff. You could be guessing on a Robbie Ray slider and still miss it. It's a good enough pitch. But being a starter and only having 2 pitches, I do think you limit yourself a little bit. And you're going to have great starts. And we've seen that from Robbie Ray. But you are going to be susceptible to some of the rough starts he had. Against the Mets, gave up some hits. Against the A's. When hitters can just guess, you're susceptible to the home runs. So you're going to see those type of starts. Doesn't mean he can't be dominant with 2. Obviously, he did it last year, won the Cy Young. But it's great to see him mixing in that 3rd pitch. I think relievers can be more successful at 2 pitches. A lot of them are. I mean, Mariano Rivera had 1 amazing pitch. I'm sure he had other pitches that were fine too, but that cutter was what he lived on. But when you're coming out of the bullpen, it's max effort, number 1, because you're pitching 1 inning, maybe 2, but especially today, 1 inning, maybe even less sometimes. So it's all max effort, and it's a little harder to guess on a reliever because you only have so much time. Whereas with a starter, you've got probably at least 3-4 innings to really kind of get the tempo of him down and make those adjustments. And if you're just throwing 2 pitches, like I said, you can kind of guess on it, and hopefully you get one. I think that's where some of Ray's home run problems have come from. But if he has mixed in that third pitch, that's going to go a long way to help him. I don't think the Mariners need him to be the Cy Young guy of last year. That I don't think Jared Dipoto and Scott Service were expecting that. I think they just want a guy that can be a frontline starter. Doesn't have to win multiple Cy Youngs here, but just what he's done the last few starts. That's what they need. That's what this rotation needs. You've got a lot of contact pitchers in this. I shouldn't say that. Logan Gilbert, George Kirby are actually pretty good strikeout guys. But, coming off last year, you got Marco, Flexen, not guys that are bad, but guys that pitch to contact and are susceptible to can get hit around. So having Robbie get back to that, and then with the development that we've seen from, Logan Gilbert this year, really going to help this rotation. And hopefully Robbie's, I guess turnaround, you could call it, is something that's going to help carry the Mariners and get them some wins, because they really need Robbie Ray to be, like I said, doesn't have to be Cy Young of last year, but just a very, very solid frontline starting pitcher, and they're getting that the last couple of weeks. Offense came alive tonight. Cal Raleigh, they're now 10-0 in games that Cal Raleigh has homered. I liked on the post game they should say, he was talking and said I should just homer more, and that would be awesome. We'll take it. But really tremendous turnaround from Cal Raleigh. Now has 8 home runs on the season, which I think ties him for second on the team with Julio behind Gino. So I think, and I could totally be missing. Ty France, I think, is 8 too, but he's up there. So really good to see him. And he also had a double, and I think he had a single too, or maybe just a double. I think he had the double in the home run. So nice offensive output from Cal Raleigh. Best wishes, thoughts, prayers for Justin Upton. I did get to see that 91 mile per hour fastball right in the temple area. So just, take away anything baseball, right? Just, I hope he is okay and can get back as soon as he is ready to get back in there. But just very scary moments. So I haven't been able to, like I said, I've been away tonight, so I don't even know if there's been an update, but my thoughts and prayers are with Justin Upton, and I hope he's okay. Good to see him up. I was actually going to try and make a video today because I just didn't have time about him coming up and Sam Haggerty going down. And it, you could see, like, even reading the lineup, it just felt longer. And what I mean by longer is just, sometimes you get these lineups where, especially yesterday's lineups, for example, with Ty France being out, and you go, okay, you've got, Frazier, Crawford, Julio, Gino, even Winker. I know he hasn't hit much, but you still, have some hopes for that bat. And then you just see that, and then it's like Toro, Haggerty, and it's like, oh man, it gets rough after that top 5. But having Upton in there, you looked at the lineup, you've got, Taylor Trammell and Cal Raleigh at the bottom, and guys that both had big games tonight. Yeah, and it really just kind of takes a thin lineup and spreads out and more, very similar to what having Kyle Lewis in there did for the Mariners. You just saw that lineup lengthen so much with his addition. And Justin Upton, I don't even think reached base. Well, he technically did reach base, but but you just saw that lineup look so much better. And it's not that I expect Justin Upton to be great, but just his presence, I guess. I don't know, but just certainly felt better having him in there to play as opposed to Toro or Haggerty or anybody like that. But yeah, I'll say it again, but thoughts and prayers with him. I certainly hope Justin Upton's okay. And a speedy recovery. And hopefully we have some updates that he's doing all right. Taylor Trammell, a double, a single tonight as well. Good game for him. Gino, Eugenio Suarez drove in a run. Julio, 3 hits today. And of course, Ty France continues to do his thing. Good to have him back in the lineup today. A bases clearing double. I know JP had an RBI walk. Trammell also had, I think, a single, double, and a walk. He did his classic, I saw on the 3-1 pitch, threw his bat 20 feet, and the ump called the strike. He's done that about 5 or 6 times this year. He's probably lucky he hasn't been thrown out of a game yet, because I can't imagine that makes the umps very happy seeing that. I think he's just trying to sell it a little bit. I don't blame him, especially some of those borderline ones, but good to see him have a big game, especially with, Upton coming up and some, people kind of thinking maybe that Trammell would lose some playing time. He's been pinch hit for a bunch, and mostly against lefties, and I get it. But good to see him have a good game. And that's an important outfield spot. I talked about it a little bit yesterday, but, it's so funny because in the offseason, it was like, where are the Mariners going to put all these guys? You got Winker, Kelenic, Rodriguez, Lewis, Trammell, Haniger, what other guy, Dylan Moore can play some outfield. How are all these guys going to find playing time? And it's amazing how that stuff just ends up playing out. And now you've got Taylor Trammell out there. And I said yesterday, Julio's looks like he's going to be locked into center field for years to come. But, Winker hasn't hit yet. Jared Kelenic has not shown that he is an everyday player. I think he will be, and I hope he will be, but he has not shown it yet. Mitch Haniger just can't stay on the field, and I don't think he'll be back next year as a free agent. Hopefully he can get back on the field this year. We'll see. But, he's likely gone, and they need someone to kind of take over that spot. And Taylor Trammell's a guy that deserves at-bats and a chance to do that. So good to see him. And sometimes that happens. A forgotten prospect, Trammell, not forgotten, but kind of, I think, not a name that was talked about a ton this offseason, kind of gets pushed to the back burner. And then some of these other guys struggle, and he's back in there. And sometimes that's how these guys, their career flourishes. So hopefully Taylor Trammell is someone that can lock down that spot. Other than that, just a nice win for the team, a win they needed to get. Their ace in Robbie Ray was fantastic tonight. They didn't give a home run to Mike Trout, so miracles can happen. That was obviously great to see him off the base paths for the most. I don't know if he reached on anything, but good to see them holding Mike Trout in check finally for a game. So doubleheader tomorrow. Looks like Chris Flexen versus Patrick Sandoval game 1. That's the 1:00 game. And then you've got the nightcap at 7. I'm assuming that's going to be a call-up. I don't know where the rotation in Tacoma lines. Maybe Justice Sheffield. I imagine maybe you'll see an opener and then Sheffield. I don't know. It could be somebody else completely too. I don't know. I don't really know where Tacoma's is in the rotation, to be honest. So I don't know who's coming up, but I imagine somebody is coming up to start that game too. So like I said, not much else to add. When you score 8 runs, it's fun, a fun win, and that's the thing, that this team needs more fun games, fun wins, and they got one tonight. So hopefully it's the start of something. Winning streaks have to start somewhere. Turnarounds have to start somewhere. Maybe it started tonight for the Mariners. They improved to 29-36 on the season. Robbie Ray gets the win, and the offense explodes for 8 runs, and hopefully they can keep it going tomorrow. First time on this channel, please like, comment, subscribe if you like what you're seeing. Fans of any team, come on board. We can talk baseball. I'm not someone that talks too much trash or gets into that with other teams. Just here to enjoy a sport that hopefully we all find some level of maybe relief from the real world sometimes, and just entertainment value. So we'll be back tomorrow. I will hopefully have a video after game 1. We'll talk about game 1 and then maybe a little preview of what we might see in game 2 for the night game. Then we'll do a recap after game 2. So a few videos tomorrow. And yeah, go M's, and hopefully this is the start of the turnaround.